print. And just like today, when you push print to print a page, the printer will print ink on a page in 2 dimensions. 3D printers will take that image that you designed on your computer and print it in 3 dimensions. That is, jets will fire plastics or metals and actually construct the object that you designed on your computer in the printer. That's happening today. Printers of that type will become more commercially available to the place that in our lifetime it's very likely that many of us will have them in our homes. And this is being made this is not just manufacturing items like pencils or shoes or microphones. People in the biotech world are already using it to make prosthetics. Some are actually talking about how they can begin to think about making organs or organ transplants. These things are happening before our very eyes. So whether it's telecommunications, transportation, health, energy, everything that we know in our society is being fundamentally reinvented by technology and by innovation. And it's happening at a global scale. So with that, the key is education. In education, we must have it to continue to be renewed, to continue to be reborn, to continue to evolve, and to continue to keep pace with the pace of global innovation and global change. As well as we do in California and in this country, if we don't keep pace, then our kids will simply start to lose in a global competition, in a global race, and we cannot have that. The competition is intense. The pressure is high. And so the things that you all are doing on a daily basis are making an enormous difference, and yet the challenge is we have to do it even more. We have to do it better. And you have to have our support as a community to enable you to do those things better. We know that you're up to it, but you need a support system around you to make that happen. And so education must be prioritized, and it must be modernized, and it must be supported. And I'm proud that Governor Brown is doing it. Look at where he's headed with his budget, the priorities that he's making. He is emphasizing the critical need to ensure that our education system is as strong and as healthy as it needs to be now and into the future. And certainly I have to remark that Senator DeSaulnier, our Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Torlakson, Susan Bonilla, Joan Buchanan, people probably don't know the embarrassment of riches that we really have with representation out of this county in Sacramento. In addition to the great leadership the governor is providing, these folks that represent all of us in the legislature, and Tom as a statewide elected official, these folks are incredible in what they're doing, and California would not have the education capacity that it has but for the work of these great folks. So keep that up too. You all are the heroes in this. All of you. Right? You are the ones that are enduring the stories that we talked about. You know, despite all the challenges and all the doldrums that we've seen over the past several years, the budgetary challenges and the pressures and the uncertainty, the pink slips, the stress that's been put on all of you as teachers, the dwindling resources and the stress that comes into your classroom, as parents are increasingly stressed and the kids are increasingly stressed. Right? You've endured all of that, and you've fought through it, and you've worked through it. Why? Because it's your fundamental commitment to doing well and to doing good. You've endured, I think, the roughest patch, and we appreciate that. Thank you for hanging in there. And the good news is things are coming back. Things are getting better. California's economy is growing. Last year, we created 327,400 private sector jobs, #1 in the nation. Our unemployment rate has come down to 9%. When I started this job, it was just over 11.2. It's down to 9, which is great, but it's certainly still too high. But we're moving it in the right direction. Business investment is growing again. We have more venture capital in the state, more direct investment from people around the world than any other state by far. And there's many other statistics that I can cite to you that show that California and our economy is on the move. And the governor was committed to lead on Prop 30, and so many of you came and stepped forward and helped us pass that proposition to get more money into the state government, to stabilize the budget, to give us some breathing room, and to give us a chance to get back on our feet again, and that's exactly what's happening. So it's very exciting to see that the state budget is starting to get structured, and it's starting to get stabilized, and we're back into a position of thinking about how we can channel investments in the right direction to create the growth that's necessary to do. But I also have to say that in addition to the revenues that are growing and business that's growing, Governor Brown is bringing very determined leadership to help manage this budget responsibly. He wants to hold the line and make sure that we don't fall back into a period of irrational exuberance and that we don't squander the hard times that we've gone through to try to generate the revenues that we need. So he's being very determined and he's being very disciplined. And he has partners in the legislature that want to work with him to ensure that we do this responsibly and take full advantage of the opportunities that we have. And he's being practical. He's being pragmatic. pragmatic. I have to tell you, it's a really remarkable thing to be able to watch someone like him, who is a politician and a leader with incredible experience, incredible capability, who clearly is liberated by the fact that he's not running for anything. And that's giving him the opportunity to recognize that it's about leadership. That he now knows that he is answering a call to service, a call to bring the full complement of his abilities and his strengths and his determination to move our state forward, to fix some of the fundamental problems that we have, and help renew California and get it on a sustained ascendancy once again. And so in so doing, he is pushing people, as you must. If you're going to really make fundamental change and fundamental progress, that's not easy. People are going to have to buy into reform. They're going to have to buy into decisions that don't seem readily what they want to do, but you just know that in the long run it's the right thing to do. Right? We have to eat our vegetables as a state. And that's what Governor Brown wants to see happen. He's being real. And he's trying, I think, through his efforts, and I believe he's succeeding in inspiring others to follow suit. If we can get more leaders like the wonderful folks we have representing us from Contra Costa County, if we can inspire that across the legislature and in local governments all across our state, we can continue in this sustained period of renewal, and we must. And teachers, you have enormous opportunities to embrace reforms as well. As I was saying, evolving your profession, being open to new methodologies, new curriculum, new schedules, new ways of doing things, embracing technology, finding ways to elevate your approach to doing your profession is urgent at this time. But I don't have to tell you that. I know that you know that, and I know that you're open to it and up to it, because at the end of the day, you've already demonstrated time and time again your commitment to producing the quality results that we need. So embrace those reforms, and let's work on those things together, and let's not let people continue to denigrate or attack public education as some place with teachers that are unwilling to respond to the times of the day. Let's not let the critics win out and have them define us as people that are unwilling to respond and react and to grow. We know that what you're capable of. So let's prove it, and let's work on it together. And I think in so doing, as we think about reforms, and we think about working together in that spirit, I think the kind of leadership that Governor Brown and others are bringing, and the kind of leadership that you all demonstrate on the ground, can help us renew our systems overall. The challenges that we see in places like Washington, and the way Sacramento had been for too long, I'm telling you, it's getting so much better. But those were political systems and political environments that have been driven and defined by conflict, and by fear, and by anxiety. Political efforts that are about, I win, you lose, right? Zero-sum game approach to politics. It's through division, and it's through strife. That's defined Washington for too long, and it's defined Sacramento for too long. And I have to say that we've seen that at the Debt Center as well. I think we have to recognize that because of the anxiety and because of the struggles that we've endured, it's created a politics here in our county that is too often about division, too often about conflict. We see divides between the board and the administration, and teachers, parents, and school sites, neighborhoods, communities, and community stakeholders. We've seen a politics here that has too often been about I win, you lose, and struggle and strife. And though that kind of approach to managing ourselves may satisfy some, might sell a newspaper or two, I'm not really sure who's the winner in that. But I do fear I know who the losers are, the kids. So it's up to us, the grown-ups, to understand that this is our time to do something different, to go into a new direction, to once again step forward and lead us into a positive way. And you teachers have an opportunity, and I think an obligation, to do what it is that you naturally do anyway. Lead from the front, and lead with kids first in mind. You all can be a force to work with the other groups in this district to open a new chapter, a new era, a chapter of collaboration and cooperation where you will have to give something, but you can ask for things in return, where we can all sort of look at what that overall galvanizing vision is. We can set a vision to go forward in a way that elevates the quality and the performance of this district to a place where we all want it to go. You can bring that spirit. You can help us renew this place. And if you